Cool. Okay, we're live on LinkedIn today. I'm joined by Tyler Sullivan, who is the founder of BombTech Golf and Ecom Growers. I know we run in the same circles quite a lot, Tyler, but for people who don't know who you are, give us an intro into your story and how you got started.
Yeah, so I'm a accidental entrepreneur. I started in 2011 and had no goal or vision of becoming an e-commerce business owner or entrepreneur and having another company. So I was just competing in this really niche sport called World Long Drive, where you try to hit a golf ball as far as you can. It's like home run derby of golf. And I wasn't that good. I was probably the worst one. But during that process, I started assembling different, like really odd golf club setups, and I actually broke like 9 drivers. And it wasn't from my muscles, but it was from the inability of this local club builder who's building me these like custom clubs, assembling them for me. I just started breaking them like during competition. And I said, I need to learn how to assemble my own club. How hard can it be? So I started assembling golf clubs in my basement. And then my buddy who I played with was like, hey, can you make me one? I'm like, sure. He's like, how much? I'm like, I don't know, like $100. What? I don't even know. So that was my first epiphany, like, okay, that's cool. Then I made the world's worst website you've ever seen. This is 2011. I was on some platform you never heard of. It had like a caricature of a guy flexing, breaking a golf club. Sold nothing on it for 6 months, like literally nothing. And then I moved to like another terrible platform, and I was on my boat on Lake Champlain in beautiful Vermont. And it wasn't a yacht or anything. And I'll never forget, I'm on the boat with my wife, and I get an email on my phone. It's like a BlackBerry. Like, it's so old school. And I read it, it's like an order for $290. I was like, what does that even mean? I just sold something online. This is like, and I'm like, wait, I'm on the boat fishing, drinking beer. I'm like, let me do more of that. You know what I mean? And that was my first epiphany. And then, like, this is early days. And so I just started documenting kind of what I was doing on Facebook. And this was back when I had like, I don't know, 200 likes, but they actually could see all your stuff, 100% organic reach. And I just didn't know what I was doing. So I just documented like, hey guys, I'm hitting balls today. Like, what are you doing? Like, just documenting as I built the club, as I worked with the University of Vermont, I worked at my local college where I barely graduated, and designed a golf club. And I just documented it as I went with no expectations of anything. And I cashed in my 401k because I was nuts. And I made like, I can't remember how many clubs I made, like 50 or 100 clubs. And at that time, it was a ton of money. And I was like broke. And I luckily, because I documented my journey, and I think I had like email signups like back then to like pre-order. And I sold like 10 grand when I first launched. I was like, oh, that's good. Let's do more of that. And then Facebook ads happened, Facebook video happened, and then like there's a whole 97 different evolutions that happened. But I was able to scale it with traffic and email, and then I got fired from my day job, and then I'll transition here. But like I got fired from my day job when BombTech was a side hustle, and I found out my wife was pregnant the week before Thanksgiving. And that moment was the kick in the ass I needed to go from side hustle to full-time gig, because I could not feel any more pressure. No job, kid on the way, fired right before the holidays. And that year was probably the hardest year of my life. And I worked 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to figure it out, did all the wrong stuff with a newborn. And, I was able to scale it up. And now I transitioned to working like on the e-com brand, like 4 hours a week, and I own 2 companies. But it was not a straight path, and it was not expected,
That's quality. Did you have any type of engineering background? How did you make the clubs, or did you just learn from scratch?
Yeah, so no, I was a golfer. I grew up playing golf, and then I got obsessed with, long drive. And I just actually I was talking to my buddy, one of my frat brothers at UVM, and I was like, dude, I sold a couple of clubs online. I want to make my own brand. He's like, well, you're not that smart. I'm like, you're not wrong. And he's like, why don't you call University of Vermont, where we both graduated? I did take 5 years, but and see if they'll work with you. And they have every year, I didn't know this, they had a capstone project where you get to work with a group of students, 4 students and faculty. And we just worked together like hand in hand. I was there every week, once a week. I was like, it was the coolest thing ever to me. And we designed this dual cavity driver. I found a manufacturer. We made prototypes, and it was a process. And I had no idea if it was going to work. And then like when we got the finished prototype, I went to the range. This is my aha moment. There's been so many of those in 9-10 years. I went to the range with the first prototype. I hit 2 balls, and they were like the best drives of my life. And the guy next to me, this was like in March, like snow on the ground. He's hitting balls, and he's much better. He's like, "What is that?" I go, "Oh, it's BombTech." He's like, "What is that?" I go, "Oh, I made it." He's like, "What do you mean?" And like he goes, "Can I hit it?" I was like, "Sure, go ahead." And he took 2 swings, said nothing. I go, "Oh shit, he hates it." And he goes, "How's this possible? I'm hitting it farther and straighter than my other club." And he bought it on the spot. And that was my first one. Like, oh my god, this random guy. I just told him what it was. He just bought it. So there were so many evolutions to what happened, but that was a cool moment. So a lot of cool moments, a lot of painful moments. You know.
Brilliant. I love it, mate. Love it. Actually, let's go back to when you said you had your newborn on the way, and you mentioned a few times you've been quite vocal that you were working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yep.
Now there comes a point where you need to get out of the way, that you've said, and let other people do their job. When was that moment for you, and what allowed you to really systemize certain elements of the business to help it grow?
Yeah, that was so hard for me because I think any entrepreneur, even if you're an accidental entrepreneur like me, wants to control every process almost to a fault. And I definitely strangled the business in a lot of capacities early on. But like, for example, I was assembling clubs myself, doing the shipping. I remember being proud of holding how many boxes I could hold into the UPS store. Because I would be like, I can hold 20 clubs at a time. And I realized really when I had my second kid that I can't live this life anymore. And I took 6 weeks off. And that was I said, I got to take 6 weeks off because I got to be there for my kid. I got 2 kids. I got to help out more. And during that time, I had to delegate stuff. So I just started delegating, even if I did it poorly. And what do you think happened to sales?
Up.
They went up. And that was my aha moment where I was like, I'm not that important. I did have to find the right people. And that's probably the hardest thing is like you built something that people like. You have some sales, proof of concept, brand, all these things that you've done. How do you find the right people to take it to the next level? And that for me was my aha moment to be like, okay. And now from there, I've like systematized in what I built is my hit by a bus system, where if I die tomorrow or hit by a bus, sounds morbid, can someone step in and run BombTech? And the answer is yes. But it's taken me, that's all I work on now is just like optimizing the operations to a point that it could be transferred to anyone or anyone could step into my Monday.com BombTech platform and go, okay, this is accounting, this is marketing, this is what products are coming, this is the POs. And that's so hard to do. And you get in this trap as an entrepreneur to want to do everything, to feel busy. And I used to do that. Oh my God, that's all I did. So now I'm like, I need stuff to do. That's my joke. But and now I try to live life. So I go skiing, fishing, golfing as much as I can. And I spend so much time with my family. But I put constraints on my day now so that when I am working, I'm actually working on stuff that pulls a big lever. But it's really hard to delegate and do that, especially early on. So if you told me 7 years ago, hey, you need to hire someone to run ads, do your email, ship your clubs, I'd say, screw you. I wouldn't, I'd say you can't do it. So it's an evolution. I would like to say everyone just delegate it out and do it, but you have to learn it enough to be dangerous to then delegate it. You know what I mean? So learn it. I learned everything myself, drove it to like 1.2 million. And then I just started delegating and really letting go. And now it's like, my best sales days, I don't even have Shopify on my phone anymore. I don't even know. And it's a freeing feeling,
So the marriage survives, which is the most important thing.
Yes, thank God.
Good stuff. And how do you capture those processes? What have you done in particular? Any techniques? Is it just a case of recording videos, showing people how to do it, investing in training? What's your trick there?
Yeah, so it's pretty crude how I've done it, but I siloed out our experts. So I've got obviously an email expert with the agency. I've got an ads guy who does Facebook, Google, and Instagram. Then I've got 3PL, a CRO guy, and these are all separate agencies. So like I only have 2 guys in house, and they do customer service, because that's, in my opinion, the thing that I can control the most to have an impact on lifetime value. So I pay them well. They have full health benefits. Like everyone else is like, I just outsource as cheap. I pay them the most, and then I've got a group of experts, and I'm just the coordinator of BS. Like I get them something they need, this something they need. And then from like a documentation method, I've got my experts. And then I just have a Monday board based on like, what's the word? Not category, but by position: accounting, marketing, product design, customer service. And then from there, I'll just make a Loom video. I'm like the king of Loom. And it's like the world's worst video. I'm like, got a hat on. I'm like, hey guys, this is how you make a PO. You go into inventory planner, you click this button, then you do this. And it's like so mundane. And then I just upload it to the Monday board of how to on each category. Then what I do is, if I still have something left and I have it documented, and well, first, if I really have to do it, if I don't have to do it, I remove it. If I can't remove it, I try to automate it. If I can't automate it, then I make a Loom video and then I delegate it. So I put it in Monday, and if no one's there doing the job and it's left to me, I go, well, should I do this? Usually no. Who should do this? And then I literally will find that person and then add them to that board and say, this is your job. And now they do it. If they do it poorly, that's on me. I didn't vet them well. If they do it well, great, keep moving. And that's kind of how I've done it. And it is frustrating some days because I want to do more. I want to work more. And I'm like, I really can't, at this point with the ecom brand, I can't like really hit the gas. I have nothing really, any levers I can really pull outside of recurrent efforts, which is kind of crazy to say, but it's a little more mature business. It's year 9. And I'm an old dude. I'm 36 now with 2 kids, and I'm not in the computer. Like I could barely find my computer most days. So it's like, I'm not in the computer, run the ads, send the emails, and I shouldn't be. I'm not that good. It's like I have experts and people that are better than me.
Yeah. Loom's a great tool as well. I love that. I think it's, you need people who are self-starters too, right? It's like who are just willing to just find out a way to do something. LinkedIn user, Tyler is a legend. Not sure who that. I won't be able to see who that is until after the live.
That's perfect. I like it. Incognito.
Amanda Doran. That's actually my mum. Thanks, mum.
Yeah, mom.
Okay. Let's talk about, you mentioned customer service then, and you take it very seriously, where a lot of people tend to outsource it. Where is it? I'm coming on to this in a second. Okay, so just to touch on that, what do people typically get wrong with customer service, and why have you identified that as a real key channel?
Yeah, so early on, I was doing all the customer service myself. I remember how painful it was when someone wanted to return something, or like something happened to a club. And I think that's one of the powers of getting out of the weeds yourself, is you can let them do a better job than you would, because you may make decisions that are not right for the customer. So like, I saw the benefits of that like years ago when I was taking all the phone calls, and I just say, you know what, if I'm the customer, what would I want to have happen? And really, my guys are trained to do the unexpected. Like, they have a budget and they can do whatever they want, to send free stuff, give a refund, send a new club. Like, there is no ask. They don't have to ask me ever to like do something to wow someone. And we do personal videos for every order now, which the guys like all day doing that. We do thank you voicemails, thank you cards, like all, and that's like cool stuff that you can kind of scale. But it's really, at the end of the day, we reply fast as we possibly can, and we reply thoroughly in a manner that will solve the problem and wow them. So we don't like wait to hear from them of like, hey, let's say we ship the wrong item, right? We don't say, hey, can you send it back like with a return ticket? We'll just send them a new club that they want originally, and they can keep the other set. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, oh, just give it to your buddies. And that goodwill is really like a separator for us. And a lot of people say they have good customer service, but they don't. So like at a high level, we use Help Scout, and like that's how I can tell. Like, we have a basic satisfaction rating, and we've got like a 97, 98 across thousands and thousands of tickets. And it's just believing in my guys that are real golfers. They love the brand. and they're getting paid full health benefits and a salary to do customer service, which really most people outsource completely. I do have a 24/7 outsourced team that does after-hour tickets and weekend to help out with that load, but my core guys are in-house, and most of what they do on the weekends is just like, hey, got your ticket, gonna send it to a manager if they can't solve it. And even just that, the speed is key. So it's two things. It's wowing customers and the speed of reply.
It's almost like a customer experience role and not just saying support, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. It's huge. I mean, for me, it's tough because we don't sell a consumable. So it's like for them to buy another product is a product extension. So it's like we really got to do a good job to get that repeat order rate up. And I think we're at like 40% or 35%, which for a hard goods company is crazy. So like, and we only launch new versions like every 3-4 years. So that's I say, you know what? They're buying very expensive products. Our average order does like $200. Let's throw down and do something that I would want as a golfer. And me being separated from it allows them to do a better job than if I was like, oh, I don't know if we should send out that club. It's going to cost me $100. You know what I mean? So it's just, if you're in business, why not wow them?
Definitely, yeah. Why do you think a lot of people don't go to that effort, though? Do you think it's just complacency because they think, oh, I'm just going to retarget someone on Facebook or something like that? Do you think maybe the nature of your business, like you said, not being a repeat consumable, you've been forced into doing that?
I think you have to want to do it in some capacity. I think I started this business out of passion. I didn't start to make money. I think if you're looking and starting an e-com brand, and e-com's hot now, which it wasn't hot when I started. If you want to start an e-com brand to make money, I think you've got the wrong goals and wrong vision. Therefore, you're going to take wrong actions. Like you're going to skimp on this. You're going to like try to save a buck here, try to save a buck on this. Whereas I look at it as an investing in the brand because it's a real brand. I mean, and I'd rather have someone have that good experience. So when they're on the golf course and I see someone that knows me, which is really weird, they love it and they're true fans, which is, I'm so fortunate and lucky. It's like, I don't know, I just feel like I owe it to them as a golfer to do that, and I think if you're coming out of it to make a buck, which I never intended, I think your goals don't line up with your actions. Your actions won't line up because your goals aren't right, I guess would be the best way to do it.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think it's nice, like you say, you're just building good relationships, and the sales are coming naturally as a byproduct of that trust and liking people. So yeah, just to touch on marketing channels, obviously customer experience sounds like it's very big for you. But I know, and we'll come on to this in a second, email. We both have an email agency. Give us an overview of like how everything works together, the ecosystem, and what's been most effective for you.
Yeah, so it's funny. It's so easy to get distracted with marketing tactics, marketing channels. And I even in 2016 or 17, I can really tell you that I tried every marketing channel and tactic that existed on the planet because I became obsessed. And I realized that year was actually one of our worst years because I tried all this stuff and I lost sight of what the brand was and what we do best. And I just tried stuff, and I think that's one of the biggest things from a marketing thing that you can lose focus on. And it's one of those things where you want to get traction. So you try TikTok ads, you try Snapchat ads, you try posting Reddit ads. Like there's a billion things you could try. Amazon, this. And for me, after doing this for 9 years, being an old man, it's like, we know it works for us. And if something new comes up, we will test it. But it's not like we're obsessed and it's going to make or break us. So it's like, we need traffic. So it's Facebook, Google, Instagram. Those are core. We do some SEO. So those 4. And then you have email and SMS. And like at a simple level, that's it. You know what I mean? And we do have a group on Facebook that's more of a customer retention tool. It's like 10,000 owners in there, but it's not like a sales channel. So we just need traffic. And then we need a way. And how I look at email from an owner's perspective is like, if Facebook ads die tomorrow, if Google ads triple tomorrow, email is my asset. That's the only thing I own. So if I burnt that list out and had $3 million of inventory I had to move, I'm dead, right? But if I've nurtured that list and had real conversations and these, email subscribers and the customers, so those 2 lists, actually engage, then guess what? I could sell that product. So I think of it, and also like if ever someone wanted to buy us, like that's what they're buying, is that list. And then like SMS has been new, and I look at SMS as, email's the core. I don't think that's ever going to change. Everyone says it's going to die every year. It never does. And then SMS is pretty cool because you can see crazy spikes in traffic and whatever, but that's just like the cherry on top. So we email's the core. SMS is like just that next level. And that's really it. I don't know if I'm missing anything else, but we try to keep it simple and just be the best at those. And then I focus on product and offers. Like that's what I do best, or try to do, is like just make the best freaking golf club I can and make an offer that we can scale. That's it.
Good stuff. Love it. So on email, I know, going back to the point you said, it's not a typical repeat consumable brand. So how do you communicate with the audience after they've bought from you? How does that affect the campaign strategy?
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of just like conversational email. And this is kind of what I did early days with social media. And then I brought it to our channel that drives the most revenue, which is email. So it's like on Facebook and stuff, like 90% of my posts, especially way back, would be a question. They'd be like, hey, would you rather do this or that? Or like, hey, I've got 200 yards left. What club do you hit? Just simple questions that people want to engage with.
Yeah.
Because they know the answer, and it's like, cool, I'm just going to comment, or they make a joke or whatever. So we do that in email. So we have an aggressive hype launch system for new products. But if we're not hyping or launching, we send promo deals, obviously. But then between those promo deals, we've got content and engagement. And engagement's my favorite tier, because then we get replies, and that moves the clients, our email list subscribers and customers from promotions to the inbox. And then we have real conversations with, guess who? My customer support guys that care and are paid well. And they're like, oh, cool, I got this feedback on this club. Or like they answer the thing, they're like, cool, I would hit the same club. And it changes it from like selling to like, now we're having thousands of real conversations through years. And then it's like, oh, new club comes out. It's almost a natural thing for them to buy it. So and like last year we did, I think 7.1 mil. And of that we did 41% of revenue from email. So it was, it's always 35 to 50% depending on launches,
Great stuff. Completely. I wonder why a lot of people don't invest more in that, just speaking to the customers. They always want to, like you say, jump to the next marketing gimmick or hack, rather than realizing that if you just get people talking to the brand, they'll just buy from you anyway because they like and trust you.
It's a hard thing to do, because I think also e-commerce is a difficult business to run, and there is a pressure to make profit and revenue because of cash flow. I think that's one thing that a lot of potential, like myself included, 5-6 years ago, I remember doing and this is early days, so a lot has changed, but doing $1 million and be like, I'm broke. You know what I mean? Now that's very different, and that's not the case. But I think early on, it depends on the e-com brand, how deep they are, but it's hard to do those things that don't drive revenue because you need the money or you want to scale. So it's like, these are all the things that I've done because I've been doing it for years. And it sounds weird, I don't really need the money. I mean, I do need the money, but everyone needs money. But it's not like I have this pressure to make, I've got a loan or something, got to pay back tomorrow. So again, I think that always goes back to like, what's the goal? And then your actions, is it the right goal? And then your actions will follow that. So for me, it's like, this is my goal and these are my actions. But if you're trying to just make money, then you're just going to blast promo after promo and promo, and then your list is shit. You know what I mean? I think the second part too, a lot of what we do with email is simplify. Like we do a lot of plain text. We do like maybe one image, one call to action versus like a really overly designed newsletter with like 1 million calls to action. And we do that just because it's more native to the platform, whereas an e-com owner may feel like that's not enough. And that's a gut feel. That's wrong. It's just like, I want to do more. Therefore, I'm going to make this email complicated as hell. You know what I mean? I myself have fell victim to wanting to do more and then making stuff worse. So it's like our strategy with emails, like engage, run simple, effective emails with copy that engages, and have good offers and get people to open. So it's like, it's kind of simple, but people really, especially in e-com, I don't know why, but ecom, everyone wants to go technical and make it more than it is, you know?
Yep.
That's just what I've seen.
It's definitely a lost art. I mean, I can say we're quite design focused in our agency, and we're going to come on to agencies in a moment, but I still do throw a couple of text-based emails in for the clients every month.
Yep.
And it's funny how effective they are. And one time I had a client say, what the fuck? They messaged me and said, why did this just go out? And then he had amazing sales from it. He said, you can't send stuff like this. And I explained the methodology behind it, and there was great sales. So it's definitely a lost art. It sounds crazy because, like you said, that's native to email, but a lot of people are looking for the next big thing. So why did you start an email agency then? You've got a great e-commerce business. What made you go down this path?
Again, this was an accidental entrepreneur trip number 2. So my first employee at BombTech, Chris, who was like the most unique individual ever. He was actually one of the engineering students at UVM that designed one of my clubs. I remember early days, before he even became an engineering student, he reached out and was like, I'm going to work for you and engineer clubs. And I'm like, dude, you're not even a senior yet. And when he became an employee, he was my first employee ever. And he would work all day, every day. I remember him texting me at 2 a.m, leaving the bar. It's like, did you see the conversion rate on the website? Like, he was just, I don't know how else to describe him. He was the hardest working person I've ever met, would do anything, always came up with ideas. So I made him my number 2, my right-hand man.
Yeah.
And he ran all my email from like 2000, I don't know, 15, I forget all the years, to 18 or something, or 17. And then Klaviyo did a case study on our success. Like, we had a really high revenue from email. And Chris was like, I'm like, dude, what do you want? Because I was paying him well, but he wasn't killing it. He was still young. And then people started messaging me like, hey, I know you're killing it with ecom. Can you help my brand? And I was like, no. And I kept saying no. And then people kept messaging me. I was like, maybe I should help them, but I didn't know what to do. And Chris is like, hey, I do your email. What if I do their email? I go, that'd be cool. And I said, why don't you do this? I go, if you want a side hustle, I'll support you. I want nothing in the world except for you to win, dude, because you've done everything for me and my brand. So if you want to do it, I support you. So I said, here's 3 people. And I think he closed some on his own. And he went out, closed 3 deals. And I said, just tell me what happens in a month. Okay. So he came back in a month. He's like, dude, I doubled their revenue. I was like, okay, that's good. I go, you want to do more of that? He's like, yes. So really just organically from there, I just started funneling him leads, and he just ran with it. And the next thing we know, we got 5 clients, 10 clients, 15 clients. Now we got like 35 clients. And really we have iterated a million times from then. And then he stepped away from BombTech, and now the agency, Ecom Growers, now runs my email. And we've got a team of 8. We just hired another person, a team of 9. And it was something I never saw coming. It's just he was my guy to do email. He did a great job for me. He had a passion to do it. I said, if you want to partner up, I'll support you and try my best. And now he really runs the team in fulfillment. I run the systems and get the leads. And it's been great. And now we're like, we got 35 clients, and we're trying to scale that up. And it's a very different business. And it was just a natural step. It wasn't like, hey, I'm going to go out and start an email agency, like to make more money. It was like, Chris has his passion. We have a demand. Can we fill it? And can we do a great job doing it? And once he started showing me the results, I was confident to invest in him and in the business. And now it has more people than BombTech, so it's crazy. It's a very different business. And I just kind of do whatever I can. And my main job too is just to do podcasts and have fun with it. And we're trying to, also have a business that, is fun to be at. So we pay full health benefits now, high salaries, and it's like, it's cool,
Amazing. Yeah, it's great building that team culture between people and everyone wins. Absolutely. What are the core differences then for you between, because as you said, there's similarities in the sense that you're both working with e-commerce people, but in terms of managing the day-to-day, what are the core challenges and differences between the two?
I mean, they couldn't be more different. I could talk about this for a week. So e-commerce, in my opinion, is very scalable, right? So it's like we have a fulfillment center in Wisconsin. We could ship 1,000 clubs, 10,000 clubs a day. Doesn't change my day at all, right? Whereas service-based industry, if we sign 5 clients, well, guess what? We need another person. So it's like, it is a people service business. And the biggest difference is to scale, you need people. You need systems for both, but you need more people in an agency. You need great people. And the benefit of that business is the cash flow. So like e-commerce is more scalable. You know, you can do 7-10 million with 2 people and a couple agencies if you do it right. But I also had to go spend $2 million in inventory. So and those are, 60 days ahead. So I like them both for their different things. And like, I love the days when you can do 100,000 a day with e-com and I'm fishing all day, right? Like, take it full circle. Whereas the agency, it's like, it's a little, I wouldn't say more steady, but it's more traditional business. So we're really focusing on like the culture piece, paying people well. And like, that's been tough. I'll be honest. Like, that's new to us. And we're probably not, like, I'm more of a builder of businesses. And now it's like, I build things to a certain point, and then I just try to find someone that can do it better. You know what I mean? So like, we're trying to find an operations person that can manage that team now that we have the right systems. And that's kind of like what I think my next evolution is, like, build a business, build the systems in any industry, find the people, and then get out of the way and let it scale. And that's kind of like, I don't know if I'll have a third business, but I'm just kind of having, as I get older, these different thoughts of like, what's fun. And the building part's always fun, and the growth is always fun. But yeah, I'm really fortunate. We're killing it right now and having fun with it. But we're really investing in the people right now, and that's a whole different battle. That's our overhead,
Yeah, that exactly the same position. I resonate with that. I think if you have an agency, you need a well-oiled machine in any business, but everyone needs to be really happy, because if someone drops the ball with it, finds that it infects the whole culture.
Yeah.
We found that the project manager is actually probably can be the most stressful role, because they're speaking to so many clients and then also having conversations with design, and there's so many moving parts. So I think you really need to keep their morale up in particular.
Yeah, and we're all remote. So like, that's the other challenge, is like, we're trying to give compensation, benefits as a retention tool and keep them happy. And I'm also trying to figure out, because everyone's different, has their own unique personality. It's not like at golf where everyone just golfs. So it's like one core passion that's really easy for us. Like, yeah, let's just go golfing, right? Or whatever. Whereas we have all these different people that like all different things, and our general thing that brings us together is marketing, which is not necessarily a pure passion for everyone. So we're still definitely working on that. And what we've done recently is we're like, if you guys, like, we're kind of making committees, like, hey, why don't you guys run it and tell us what you want, versus us top down, like, hey, let's do this, sip and paint or whatever online comedy show that they may not even like. So I'm trying to take the same approach and just asking them, like, hey, what do you guys want to do? What's your ideal job? What's your ideal day? And trying to make that, and like, instead of me trying to dictate, I never want to be a boss like that does that. And I think if anything, we may give too much free reign, but really the whole goal is just to trust them.
Yeah.
So we try to take a step back and build a better system for everything. I think we're really there, where we can say, hey, here's a system. You have the autonomy to do what you think is best within the system, and we're not going to micromanage you. You live your best life, pay you well, have fun. And if we can do anything to make your experience better, we will. Just kind of like clients. It's like we have employee satisfaction, client satisfaction. But I see some of these agencies that are doing, like, they have like 500 clients. And I'm like, I just know it's possible. And we're just like right at this tipping point. And I'm like, we just need to push the gas. So it's an exciting time in that business. And same with golf. We're growing really aggressively now. And we should break, we're shooting to do 12 million this year. So COVID and the world is a mess. And I hope we're like so close to getting out of that. And it's been, I hate to say it, but it's been amazing for e-com and the agency.
Yeah.
Because both are scaling. And I can't wait for the day where we can just celebrate and I can kiss everyone and give high fives. You know what I mean? So it's like, I have so many things to celebrate, but with COVID, it's been tough. And, I'm just hoping the world's at a better place soon and we can enjoy all the wins we've had.
Mate, I'm 100% with you. That will be nice. And yeah, let's hope the end is in sight. God,
yeah, seriously.
It's been tough. Cool. Well, Tyler, I really appreciate your time. If anyone wants to find out more about e-com growers or connect with you, what's the best route?
I mean, if they're an e-com agents or e-com brand, ecomgrowers.com. If they want to talk with me, I've been pretty active on LinkedIn, although I deleted it from my phone, at Tyler Sullivan, or if you're a golfer, BombTechGolf.com, and hopefully can talk to you soon.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to leave a tag in the comments on here. So if anyone's got any questions afterwards, feel free to leave them so that you can get around to them. But thanks very much for your time. I'm going to end this here and we'll catch up soon.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.